Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Uvalde police chief, and I'm sure many of you know this if you've been following the story. Well, he has since come out to defend the way the officers responded to this mass shooting. That's why policing will never, ever be good in America because you always got some chief or some union that will back them up no matter what, even if the work is bad. So, mm-mm-mm. The chief of the Uvalde School District Police Department, in an interview with the Texas Tribune on Thursday, defended the delay in officers confronting the gunman in last month's shooting that killed 19 children and two teachers. So, law enforcement officials in Texas and Uvalde School Police Chief Pete Arredondo, in particular, have faced intense criticism over why it took so long for officers to confront and stop the Robb Elementary School shooter on May 24th. Witnesses reported that several victims were still alive when officers went into the school. Meanwhile, Steve McCraw, the director of the Texas Department of Public Safety, said at a news conference late last month that as the commander on the scene, Arredondo made the wrong decision by not breaching the classrooms where the gunman was with students and teachers sooner. Yes, but Arredondo apparently he lawyered up. Lawyer George Hyde told the Tribune that his client didn't think he was the incident commander, despite official guidance saying the first person on the scene takes up the role because he thought he was acting as a first responder. So he's trying to deny that he was there to police, he was there as a first responder. This kind of stuff happens because in America, a cop can virtually get away with everything. They are at God status. So anything that comes out of their mouth is acceptable to a lot of people. Not to me, though. Hyde said Arredondo became, he was intimidated and he was involved on the front lines of this case. He is one of those that is in the best position to continue to resolve the incident at the time. While the official process may be to identify himself as incident commander, practically, you see here he was not in the capacity to be able to run this entire organization, Hyde said. So Arredondo said he didn't issue any order, but called for assistance and he was asking for an extraction tool to open the door. All right. Arredondo defended his decision and not to have a radio with him inside the school, which meant he couldn't receive 911 calls from students inside the classroom asking for police to intervene while officers waited outside the locked door for 77 minutes. He told the Tribune that he wanted to keep his hands free so he could be ready to confront the gunman quickly and accurately with his own gun. Okay, so it took you 77 minutes to determine that. Sounds kind of slow there, Arredondo. All right. He knew radios didn't always work inside of schools, so left two radios outside the school. Arredondo said that he also encountered problems with the reinforced door once near where the gunman had locked himself inside to connected fourth grade classrooms. He said he had asked for an extraction tool, and it never arrived. And several keys a janitor gave him failed to open the door. Okay, nothing just works for this dude. So if the doors don't open from the keys from the janitor, then how does he get in the classroom to clean up the rooms? I think this dude is full of crap. He knows he's in a lot of trouble. That's why he lawyered up. He knows he's in a lot of trouble behind this. Okay, Arredondo, before officers called his phone to say they had keys. So they said that do what we can to save lives, in which we know they didn't do that, and evacuate as many people as possible, which they didn't do that. They stood around for 77 minutes. Not a single responding officer ever hesitated, even for a moment, to put themselves at risk to save children. He said, that's a lie. That's a lie. Arredondo and his lawyer also responded to a Texas official claim that he ignored a follow up interview request, saying he was open to cooperating with investigators but wanted to see a transcript of his previous comments. That's a fair thing to ask before he has to then discuss it again, because as time goes by, all the information that he hears, it's hard to keep straight, Hyde said. No, he is now hiding behind a lawyer, because his decision to do nothing and just stand there and just listen to the gunfire of children and two adults being killed, it didn't phase him. You know, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to see the spotlight on these cops a lot more, especially in their conduct out here when things are unfolding. But I just find it amazing how these cops will go to a protest, and you'll see all kinds of tapes and things on social media where they want to literally kill the protesters because they're out there protesting a police shooting or a death. We know George Floyd was not shot, right? They got out there, they want to do all kinds of bodily harm to the protesters. But I have yet to see them go online and say they want to do things to a mass shooter. Okay? They got more dignity and respect for a mass shooter than unarmed people that are not any threat to them. They are more than ready to pump a bullet in that unarmed person. But a mass shooter in a school terrorizing and killing children, nah, we'll just stand here and wait 77 minutes. And like I said before, where are you guys that love to protect property? You know, whenever we're out there protesting, not me, but whenever people in the black community are out there protesting a death, y'all feel fit to let me just go on out there with my assault weapons and just stand around. We know what you're doing. You ain't thinking about no property. But when these school shootings go down, how come y'all don't show up at the school to assist? Nowhere in sight. Absolutely useless. So you want to stand around with a weapon around protesters, but when it comes down to saving real lives at a school, now you don't feel compelled to show up. So typical. Y'all, please tell me what you think. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.